You probably believe that some people were just born to be extroverts, some people were born to be introverts, and most likely probably think that I am an extrovert sitting here and talking to a camera, to a video that can be accessed by anybody who clicks on it. But for most of my life, I was the kid who stood behind his best friend, who everybody wanted to talk to. I was the person who was afraid to talk because I thought people would think I was weird. I was the person who, even though I wanted to talk to people, instead of, talking to them, instead of saying hi, instead of saying how are you, I would stand next to them, hoping that they would say something that I could add on to. And my behavior seems like I was an introvert, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, I wished that I could be the center of attention someday. I wished that I could be extremely social. I could be the one that people wanted to talk to. And I've realized that it's really not something that you inherit, but it's a skill. And the biggest mindset change that got me there was realizing, or rather convincing myself, one day I'm going to be great at this. One day I'm going to be an extremely charismatic person. So that means the worse that I am now, the greater my story will be. And I know it sounds cringe, but just saying that to yourself makes it okay to fail, makes it okay to be bad at something, and gives you the little confidence that you need just to try. And just trying over and over and over will make you better. So it's important to realize that the most charismatic people you see have 10 times the amount of rejections that you think they have, and that they're overthinking themselves too. So you need to take them off the pedestal and realize that you can be one of them. So anyway, the first step, I believe, in accelerating your progress to being more social is to realize that looks do play a part. And the reason they play a part is that people are psychologically more accepting of a more attractive person. And I think that's important, but the reason why I bring this up is that it reinforces, if you work on your looks, it reinforces that you are the prize. If you're consistently working on how good you look, I promise you, you'll feel more confident. And what I mean by working on your looks is simply, number one, for me, the first thing I started with was just working out. So training on your body and eating right. Second thing, taking care of your face through skincare. Third thing, I just say fix your hairstyle. And the fourth thing, fix what you put on your body, like the accessories and stuff like that. So once you started to build up your looks and essentially build up your confidence, what I would say the next thing is to greet everyone. And the reason I say this is to ask yourself, what would an extroverted person do? This helps me a lot because it helps me understand the actions that I need to do to change my identity to be the person that I want to be. And what an extroverted person would do is welcome everybody they see, greet them. Hey, how are you doing? How are you? It's good to see you, right? It's going to be tough at first, especially for people you don't know. But I'm going to give you a couple tips on that in a second. But it will help reverse the identity that you've built for yourself. So first of all, if you know them, it's going to be a lot easier for you. You're going to say, hey, how are you? It's good to see you. How are you doing? If you don't know them, what you're going to say is, hey, are you part of this organization? Are you here for this event? Do you know this person? In any way, try to connect you and the other person. After that, just say, yeah, I'm Rohan. Nice to meet you. Give a firm handshake, and suddenly you've already met them. You've already connected on a certain level. You're in the conversation, basically. The second thing is once you're in the conversation, for me, a big problem I had was that constantly when I was talking to other people, thoughts would race through my brain. And it's going to be weird, but these thoughts are going to be like, do I smell? Does my hair look weird? Am I talking too fast? Are my eyes too wide open? And it's just random thoughts that are just going through your brain, focused on yourself, and they're just in your head, they're telling you, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous. And the other person can pick that up. So something that I recommend is to completely put all your attention on them. Completely focus on what they're saying. Be interested. If you want to be interesting, this is a rule that I've learned. If you want to be interesting, you have to be interested. And that just opens up the conversation, right? You're going to ask questions. You can keep asking questions. Be interested in what they're saying. And when they're pausing and they finish the last sentence, what I want you to do is if you don't want to talk, take the last couple of words that they have and put it into a question. If they say, I've just moved back here, you can say, oh, you've just moved back here? And see how now they're going to be talking again. So you can just run the conversation like that. Ask the question, have them talking. And this is an easy conversation to have. And within a couple minutes, what you're going to do is say, you're going to end the conversation right there. I don't believe in taking conversations for more than like a couple minutes, because after that, they're just going to be bored, right? So what you're going to do, first compliment them. Obviously, you want them to like you. Say, I like your shoes, I like your watch, I like your hair looks cool, I like that shirt, where'd you get that from, whatever, right? After that, you're going to use their name as you're leaving. Nice to meet you, Jack. Good to see you. You know, whoever you're talking to. Don't ask for anything, just leave the conversation light. So while you're in the conversation, a big part that a lot of people who are introverts don't understand is that you have to have a certain body language to not come off as awkward. And the first two steps I think most people understand is just to smile and to keep your eyes on the person. If you're doing that, you're kind of halfway, right? But the next thing are like the subtle body cues that just signal if you're awkward or not. And the key, in my opinion, the key of what I've learned is, if you don't want to be perceived as awkward, you need to be open. What I mean by that is it just portrays ease. If I'm here, if I'm just having a conversation, I'm moving around, I'm talking to you, it's definitely not as awkward as if I'm standing here kind of looking at you like this. It's so much awkward. And the thing is, I used to do this. You don't realize, but your body kind of does things that you don't want to do. So when you're open, it really does portray ease. It portrays that nothing here is a threat. When you're closed off, especially, it shows that you think that there's danger, right? Psychologically, we don't want to be around someone who thinks that there's danger everywhere, who's not confident in their body. So the first thing I would definitely recommend is to breathe deeply. Number one, it just allows your body to calm down, allows your brain to calm down, especially if you want to remember more practices in the conversation. And then what I want you to do, I know it seems very obvious, but I didn't used to do this. I used to talk to people like this. If they were right here, I would just turn and talk to them just with my head. What I want you to do is make sure your entire body is facing them, because this allows it to be, again, more open, but it also seems it gives them a lot of respect as well. And what I want you to do is move closer. A lot of the times I would kind of go like this. Not only was my body away from them, but I was talking like this, right? You want to be closer. You want to break the touch barrier, especially you have loose hands as you're talking. You don't want to have stiff hands, right? And then if you ever find something funny in the conversation, make sure you laugh. It's a great way to make the conversation a lot more interesting as well as memorable if you laugh very loud. Obviously not too loud, not to the point where it's obnoxious, but to the point where you're not closed off, not having a slight little laugh, right? So I really think that the more interactions that you have, the better that you're gonna get. You're gonna have more confidence simply as you go through it and you realize this is not even that bad. Don't be discouraged to talking to like popular people or people a lot of people talk to, because I promise you they're overthinking too. And take them off the pedestal. I used to think they were just so much above me that I couldn't talk to them. Take them off the pedestal and really have fun with your conversations. Realize that this is kind of a game. This is a skill that you need to level up. And you'll pick up as you're going. You'll pick up common cues that people will give off as you're talking, and you'll be able to implement that into your conversations. And that will just make them less and less awkward, and you'll find that it's very easy to do. It's really easy to be a social person. There's one thing that I want you to take away is that in my life, no matter what my genetics were, confidence accomplished everything that ability could not. If you really feel like you're having trouble, it might just be that your confidence is not there yet, because I promise you, no matter how you look, no matter, what your height is, how big you are, if you have a lot of confidence, you have a lot of charisma, if you have the ability to stay open, talk to them, keep your eyes on them, you're going to be able to socialize very well and have people coming back to talk to you. I hope you got some value from this. Thank you for watching. Go out and conquer.